The star of last night's controversial Florida governor debate was the portable fan. Get this, the portable fan at the feet of the Democratic challenger, Charlie Crist. The Florida governor, Rick Scott, is about to talk to us about this extremely unlikely event at that debate. But first, let's get some background. Our national correspondent, Suzanne Malveaux, has the latest, putting it all together for us. Suzanne.
Well, Wolf, this is one of the strangest moments in the 20 years that I've covered politics that I've seen here, and it is now making national headlines.
The two candidates who were invited to take part in this debate right now are not stepping up on the stage. Ladies and gentlemen, we have an extremely peculiar situation right now. We have Governor Charlie Crist. We have been told that Governor Scott will not be participating in this debate.
Suddenly, the rules of the debate became the biggest issue of the night.
Governor Crist has asked to have a fan, a small fan, placed underneath his podium. The rules of the debate that I was shown by the Scott campaign say that there should be no fan. Somehow there is a fan there, and for that reason, ladies and gentlemen, I am being told that Governor Scott will not join us for this debate.
And so Fangate was born. Crist seized the moment.
Are we really going to debate about a fan, or are we going to talk about education and the environment and the future of our state?
It was one of the strangest 7 minutes in the history of political debates.
My understanding is that Governor Scott will be coming out. Frank, have you ever seen anything like this?
No, I haven't.
Ladies and gentlemen, that has to be the most unique beginning to any debate.
Charlie Crist's portable electric fan has reportedly been blowing at his feet since he ran for education commissioner in 2000. Florida Republicans this morning created a Crist Hits the Fan hashtag, showing it from on high, down low, by its lonesome, and double-teamed. Captured here with our own Candy Crowley. It even has its own Twitter account. Newspaper headlines couldn't resist. Crist even wrote about his biggest fan, the fan, in his memoir, seen briefly here at the DNC convention.
There was so much social media buzz during the debate about this fan moment that the moderator actually addressed it, asking Crist why he insisted on bringing this fan in the first place. Crist said, why not? Is there anything wrong with being comfortable? Wolf?
Suzanne Malveaux, thank you very much. And the Florida Governor, Rick Scott, is here in the Situation Room right now. He's joining us. Governor, thanks very much for joining us. All this over a fan, I guess the key question is, what were you thinking?
Hard to believe, isn't it? I was anxious to get out there. I wanted to talk. You know, we did a debate last week, and he didn't like talking about 832,000 jobs lost, so I think he was just worried he was going to sweat. I was surprised he just didn't bring some dry ice with him or something to keep himself cool, because he worried so much when I kept bringing up that he lost 832,000 jobs. But I came out and we did the debate. He didn't want to talk about jobs. We talked about education. You know what's too bad?
Let me interrupt. Quick question on fan. What was the big deal? Why wouldn't you let him? If he needs a fan, what's the big deal? Let him have a fan.
Sure.
Why was this even an issue going into the debate between your staff and his staff?
I have no idea. I was sitting in the back. I was told he wasn't going to show up. And so I was sitting back there waiting for them to tell us to come out. And they didn't tell us to come out, and then he went out there. So we came out, we had the debate.
He does have a long history of requesting that the fan be there for whatever reason. And in that document that the Florida gubernatorial debate put out, it explains all the rules. But he wrote, or somebody wrote, that there can be no fan, with the understanding that the debate hosts will address any temperature issues with a fan if necessary. So that was clearly written into this document, which I'm sure you've seen.
No, I haven't seen the document. I mean, I was out there to talk about jobs. We've added 643,000 jobs. But look, I was waiting to go on. I was anxious to go on.
So who told you not to go out there?
The organizers. They said that he wasn't going to show up. He was balking without his fan. So I didn't even know he was going to have a fan.
So he had a fan. So eventually you went out, and the fan was operating, I guess, throughout the debate, right?
Yeah, I didn't see it.
So it was not.
Yeah.
It was not a factor after that. But are you surprised by all this commotion over a fan? What's been
You know what's too bad is this debate ought to be about jobs. It ought to be about education. That's what Floridians care about. What's the future going to be like? So it's too bad they're talking about fans. But look, I'm out on the campaign trail every day, talking about how we've added 643,000 jobs. We have 261,000 job openings. We have record funding for K-12 education, state colleges, universities. That's what I talk about every day. So, but it's sort of, remember last time I did the CNN debate, my opponent cheated during the debate. So hopefully nothing will happen next Tuesday when we do the CNN debate.
There's going to be another debate. I take it there won't be a fan for him at that debate. Is that?
I don't care if he brings a microwave, if he brings a humidifier, whatever he wants to bring. If it makes him feel better, he ought to bring his microwave, humidifiers, toaster, whatever he wants.
Because CNN rules are no fan.
Right.
So I guess unless he won't show up without the fan. But I've been told definitively by CNN, no fan at that debate next Tuesday night, 7 p.m.
We'll see what happens there. I hope we talk about jobs and education.
So if you had a do-over, what would you have done differently? Because the criticism of you is you refused to debate the guy because he had a fan.
I never did. I was waiting. I was told he wasn't going to come out. He wasn't going to do the debate.
Well, once he's out there on the stage, you knew he was on the stage.
No.
You didn't know he was on the stage?
Because they had us in trailer. Well, at least they had me. I was in a trailer just waiting to go out.
And so who said to you, wait? The staff?
Yeah, the whole team. They said, just wait until we're ready to take you out.
And the staff said the organizers didn't want you to go out there? Is that
because
the moderators, they were all stunned.
Because the others I've done, you walk out at the same time. So that's why I think they were trying to organize.
So are you alleging that Chris broke the rules?
Look, I just wanted to do a debate. I wanted to talk about jobs and education. I don't know why he did what he did, but look, I think it's crazy that that's what they're talking about. We ought to talk about jobs and education. I don't care if he has.
You don't want to make that flat accusation that he actually broke the rules of the debate.
Well, he clearly broke the rules, but that's not the point. The point is we should talk about jobs and education, what people care about in our state. That's why I got elected the first time on.
Because he says he didn't break the rules because he saw this little addendum that was handwritten on this agreement.
No, I don't know.
So you don't buy that?
No,
All right,
I don't know.